How's everyone doing today? Dr. C3 here, and we are back with the official CPL Season 1 Week 5 recap. Now, I know there's been a lot of times since a video like this has been brought up on the channel or, shown on the channel. I just want to clarify, there's a lot of spoilers. At the end of the day, I know who had won the league, excuse me for that. I also know pretty much the gist of all these matches. So they're not really coming up as live as they used to be, and if you guys have been looking on the season documents, you would know who already won and those sorts of spoilers. Now, with all that in mind, I definitely owe it to the rest of the league. I told them that I would be doing this, and I'm going to fulfill that promise by, re-uploading all these videos, so you're going to see these rolled out very quickly. And when I mean very quickly is you might see 2-3 a day, if that's even possible. So, with that said, we're going to start to recap Week 5 again. Now, what better way to start off than with my own match here against Manvinder, Week 5 of the CPL. I think as of right now, Manvinder only has one loss, and I know I am 2-2 or 1-3, somewhere around that area. Maybe I'm actually 3-1, who knows. At the end of the day, he definitely has a better differential than me, and he has a very good team. So, as you can see by his lineup, the matchup that I brought just simply, I don't know how I can beat this team just based on paper alone. So with that just in mind, we're just going to jump right into the match. So he predicts my lead. I lead Sableye just to get up my Mega Evolution, but he leads Aromatisse, and this Aromatisse is in fact Specs. So I didn't know this, but every time Aromatisse is going to come into this match, it's pretty much going to claim a kill because I have no psychic resistance on my team except for Excadrill, and he's very crucial to winning late game. So I get up my sticky webs as that's very valuable to my team. I told myself if I don't have sticky webs, Greninja outspeeds, and I have no way of beating it. So he's playing this switch game. Like I said, he brought a very good team on paper. Essentially, anytime Sableye comes in, Aromatisse gets to come in for free because he knows that I can't touch it. And it's a shame because it's just going to break my team completely apart. As you see, it does 76% to my Wendy. He knows I'm Scarfed at this point with Scarf Wendy, and I really can't do anything. So he just plays the safe predictions, goes into Greninja. I can't two-shot the Mew because he's especially defensive. And he's really got this momentum. He's got U-turn pivot. He has Tangrowth to take the regen if he needs to. I try to stay as healthy as I can with Mirror. At this point, I really should have sacked it, but I told myself maybe it's more useful to save it. I go into Astro Bug thinking I could take the hits, and even Astro Bug gets two-shot by this Choice Specs Aromatisse. So, not looking too good for us at the start. I'm just trying to climb back, and he's just making great predictions. The safe plays, knowing that Tangrowth pretty much hard walls Astro Bug. I can hit him with a lunge, but he's gonna win that exchange if he has Giga Drain, and he does clearly. He does, so a little unfortunate. At this point, I'm figuring I just need to get some damage as much as I can off. He goes into Aggron this time and knows that I'm gonna fire off a Moonblast. It's my best move, and he's got all the momentum at this point. He's even the rest Aggron set, so I can't really do much to it. Again, he just goes right into Aromatisse each time. You can see that Foul Play did absolutely nothing to it. At this point, I'm sacking off Mirror. It doesn't do me any good to have it anymore. I really should have sacked it off turn 1, in my opinion, but it is what it is. So, go into Angry Cow, finally get rid of the Aromatisse, but at the end of the day, this isn't going to matter. I'm already down 3-0. He's got this Mew, and he soft boils, and he does in fact show, I believe it is right here, that he does have the defog. So with the webs gone, I know I can't win this match, and I know I can't even knock out a Pokemon if he just plays his predictions right. So I made the conscious decision to forfeit. I know some people in the league might be a little bit iffy on that decision. I just knew I couldn't outspeed Landorus. I couldn't outspeed Greninja, just based on the team alone. I thought it was going to be Choice Scarf Landorus, and it was indeed Choice Scarf Landorus. Aggron was at full due to the rest, Tangrowth had a regen, and Mew had soft boil. I just wasn't beating it with that Angry Cow set. an extra drill was Assault Vest, and I really should have utilized it to its fullest potential. I thought it was going to be more valuable to take down that Aggron and that Aromatisse, and that's what I should have done. But hindsight's 2020, you know? You win some, you lose some, and he definitely deserved that win. The nice little 5-0 in his favor. That's how, typically is a... Whatever you were down by in that game, they get all the kills, technically. So that's how we play forfeits in this league here. So he still had 5 remaining at the time of the forfeit, so he should get a 5-0. That's definitely well-deserved in his favor. So with that said, I think it's time to jump into the next match of the week. For week 5, you see we have an interesting team. Kingdra plays games in the Kansas City Kingdras versus TK Pata, who is the coach of the Cincinnati Sacreds. Actually, the step-up coach of the Cincinnati Sacreds. He decided to join the league late after the the original Cincinnati coach left. So that was very generous of him, adopting this team at last minute. But overall, I mean, both of these teams are a monster house. We have Mega Gyarados on one side. We have no Mega on the other side, but we do see a Pachirisu, a Leavanny, and a Ditto. So a lot of shenanigans for TK Pata on that end. And Kingdra just has a Tornadus, you know, just one of those teams that you don't really want to face. So I say let's start this game off right. He's going to lead the Mega Gyarados, the Jabu Jabu. And Leavanny, good lead on his end. We're going to see if he decides to go for the C-Bomb, and he does. It's going to do about 50%. And Jabu Jabu just goes straight for the Dragon Dance. He knows that he can maybe one-on-one this Chloris here. But Junior is going to come out and really going to hinder this Leavanny. He decides to stay in, thinking, "Nuh-uh, I'm going to just try and get some damage off." A little bit surprised he didn't go for the Sticky Webs there, but he goes into Metagross thinking he could take a Bug Buzz. That did a lot of damage. That did a lot of damage. So maybe we're thinking here that this is a Choice Specs Vikavolt. That was did 50% to a defensive Metagross. But Metagross is going to go down to Donphan as it decided to set up the Stealth Rocks. Very interesting set too, I believe, with the Reflect. So one of those things you don't see. Ice Shard's going to be able to take out the Leavanny, and this Donphan is already putting in the work. Toxic, it's going to put it on a timer here, but as you can see, it's doing 20% even to a Tornadus under Reflect. So, oh, I'm sorry, it was Light Scream, not Reflect. That makes me look a little bit silly here. Tapu Koko is going to come out. We see that it is shiny, so it is going to be Timid Koko, and great prediction on his end. Decides to go for the Dazzling Gleam. Does able to one-shot the Garchomp, as he decides at this point that he can sack his Tornadus. Doesn't believe that he needs it at this point, and low-key, the Imposter Ditto is going to be able to transform and go right out for the hard-hitting returns. So we do know that he's probably going to be locked into return, as he did outspeed Tornadus there. And it's not going to be able to knock out Jabu Jabu. But he does live with the fake Focus Sash. Very crucial, because it's going to be able to knock out the Mega Gyarados here. So fortunately, Slap Slap was able to revenge himself. And we have 2 electric types left against a Donphan and a Vikavolt. It's not looking good for TK Pata, but he could be able to bring it back depending on what set that Tapu Koko is. So we do see the U-turn on Pachirisu. Very interesting set, to say the least. And he's going to be able to get the flinch to do the fake out, and we're going to see if a Dazzling Gleam comes off. It's not going to be able to one-shot that Vikavolt, but it doesn't matter because he outspeeds. And I think Ambipom is going to be able to clean up, especially with the Normalium Z Breakneck Blitz coming off with that return. So I don't think Pachirisu can one-on-one this. We'll see. It does live the return, and Nuzzle's going to be able to paralyze, hoping he can get some hacks here. Gunk Shot's going to be able to do a decent amount, and we do see the hacks starting to come through. Hits 2 Gunk Shots in a row, but unfortunately he does break through paralysis for TK Pata and knock off for the win. So very tight game, literally down to 1 turn, and a little bit of hacks on either end could have gone a different way. I think at the end of the day, Kingdra did a fantastic job playing with that Donphan, knowing he'd be able to take out some things with the Ice Shard, and not really caring about that toxic damage, staying in for quite a bit, making, you know, Jordan here want to switch around. Good moves from both ends of the field, to say the least. Now, the last match we have, at least for the showdown matches, we do have one DS match that we're going to play last. But this showdown match is going to be Mr. Carbonite versus Shempity Ding Ding, Seattle Seadros versus Enigmatic Elic Mortars. So it'd be very interesting to see. We see the Treadstone, which is of course the Drapion from Shempity's side of the field. That is one of his fan favorites. And we do see the Murkrow come out from Mr. Carbonite. So a little bit interesting. We see 3 ground immunities pairing with 2 ground weaknesses in Blacephalon and Jolteon, and that Mega Banette with Prankster, and Murkrow with Prankster. And I don't believe, aside from Treadstone, nothing else really wants to block out that Prankster priority. So it'll be a little interesting, to say the least. We're going to see what these leads are. If I had to predict the lead, I would say maybe an Azelf lead to get up Stealth Rocks, and a Sandslash lead to get up Stealth Rocks as well. But we'll see. So we do see the Jolteon instead in the Sandslash lead. So the Hidden Power Jolteon is going to come off. Now we're going to see if he's Scarfed or not. Just based off of that, he does decide to hard switch. So a little interesting. He knows that Popeye is especially defensive at this point with the leftovers. But that he's not even going to care. That Energy Ball is going to straight up one-shot. And we see Treadstone come out. The Stealth Rocks are already on Carbonite's side of the field, so it's going to really hurt Murkrow. And the substitute, great play from Shempity, of course. The Heat Wave, not going to be able to take out, and it is a sub-Whirlwind set, so he's trying to bank and get things like Murkrow and Blacephalon in to wear it down with Stealth Rocks and try and break up potential Sash on the Blacephalon. Good strategies. It's not really working out for him. And Carbonite's just trying to stay on the back end and really wear down this Treadstone. He's just setting up subs and whirlwinding my Lanza. What a match so far. So, Murkrow's already down to 50% due to the rocks. Jolteon's starting to get chipped down a little bit each time it comes in. And he's just really trying to get that Blacephalon in. Does get the Blacephalon in, however, it is... he doesn't have a sub, so he decides to switch out. He does predict the Inferno Overdrive here. Duke going to be able to take it, and the Outrage is just going to straight up one-shot the Blacephalon. Shempity's in a tough spot now because he's locked into Outrage. And he knows that he has Assault Vest Outrage. Going to be able to take one. The knockoff, not going to be able to get rid of this Arcanine, but he does decide to go for the Prankster Destiny Bond. So, going to be able to one-on-one with this Arcanine, take it out. And we see Jack of Spades come out as Jolteon comes right back out. We're going to see if it takes his Hidden Power well. But no, he said, I'm not even going to try and take it. He decides to go into Twitch. I don't know why he'd go for Hidden Power. Obviously, he would have Shadow Ball. We do find out that he's not Choice locked instead. And the Heliolisk is going to come in. I'm a little bit behind here, but he surfs. We do see the Dragon Dance come off for the Flygon. And he's going to try and set up on this Jack of Spades, but we see the Trick Room come out. So he's not fearing this Flygon at all. He's actually a lot faster now due to the Dragon Dance boost, and he's a Leech Seed Willow Trick Room set. I wonder what his last move is. Going to be quite interesting to see. And his Flamethrower, not really doing that much to Flygon, but with the Leech Seed, it is doing a decent amount, and he's taking those Fire Punches relatively well. We're going to see if Dragonite wants to, or Carbonite wants to keep Dragon Dancing, but instead he just decides to switch. He knows Azelf can probably knock him out with Shadow Ball, so he switches into Drapion, predicting the Shadow Ball. Oh, we see the Flamethrower instead, my bad. So, Flamethrower come out for Azelf, and Treadstone's just going to get sacked. Now, that was very interesting damage based off the last Flamethrower. He should have been able to live it. That must have been a high roll. Psyshock's going to come off. We're going to see Psyshock be able to knock out the Twitch too. So, I believe two good rolls in his favor, if I stand corrected. And Azelf is probably going to clean here with the Flamethrower. So, Carbonite's going to take a solid 2-0 after the Life Orb recoil, taking out Azelf. And I have to say, what a game from both, coaches, obviously. I believe that Shempity had a lot of switch initiative, played his switches right. He knew he could play with his immunities if he went into Heliolisk and Arcanine well. He did just that, was able to knock out the Blacephalon, but at the end of the day, he just didn't have the resistances to take all the fire that Carbonite brought. Fire Punch Flygon, Blacephalon, Heat Wave Murkrow, Flamethrower Azelf. Yeah, it's just one of those one of those games where, you know, Carbonite did have the right prep to be able to take out this team. And yeah, so with all of that talked about, I believe it's time we should go right into the DS match to round out Week 5 of the CPL. What do you say?
And here it is, our final battle for CPL Season 1, Week 5. We have Aaron, the Rome Empoleons, versus 1-800 Big Bad and the Bad Boys. Now, as you can see, both of them brought, you know, their A teams here with the Florida Celesteela Kieran Blackcore, which at this point in the season is undefeated at 4-0. And we do see the Conkeldurr, Dragonite, Bisharp, and Rabombi core for the Bad Boys here. So I say let's jump right into this battle. Now, if I had to predict leads on both ends, we did see the Diancie and the Seismitoad on the Roman Empoleon side of the field. So I'm predicting a Diancie lead. If we do see the Diancie lead, as I am going to be predicting, I really wasn't expecting the Conkeldurr lead. Now, Conkeldurr, even though it's very against, you know, fighting, I think Conkeldurr can live this Moonblast, and we do see that it doesn't. So the Moonblast is going to be able to knock out that Conkeldurr instantly. He's going to send out Olaf, which is going to be the Dragonite. He knows with the multi-scale ability, he's going to be able to take one Moonblast. We do see the Aqua Tail come out. It's going to do a little over half to this Gemstone, as Moonblast is just going to straight up one-shot that Dragonite. Kind of surprising it wasn't going to live that, you know, Moonblast there. Bisharp is going to come out now. It's probably going to have some sort of priority or be able to live the Moonblast, so he switches out, goes into Lancelot, or Lamsalot, sorry, no N, M, as we do see the Earthquake come off for the, or I'm sorry, not the Earthquake come off for the Bisharp. I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. Earthquake's going to be able to knock out the Bisharp as he decides to go for a Swords Dance. I don't know if he was Swords Dance Sucker Punch or what the Bad Boys are trying to do there. Rabombi's going to come out. Rabombi's just going to try and hit it with a Dazzling Gleam. Lancelot is just going to go for the U-turn. It doesn't like the matchup that it has. So Aaron's going to be able to switch that out and go right back into Gemstone. Now Gemstone is going to be able to knock out this, Rabombi if it doesn't have the grass coverage for it. So Dazzling Gleam not going to be able to knock it out. And we do see the Rock Polish come off with Diancie. So the Speedy Diancie, offensive with Moonblast and Power Gem, as it's just going to straight up one-shot that Rabombi. Diancie already has 3 knockouts in this match. What is going on? Lee Diancie putting in the work. Lurantis is going to come in. I don't know if it's going to be able to take a Moonblast from this, but he decides, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice the boost. 747 the Celesteela. The leading league in killers at this point is going to come out. It eats that Leaf Blade. And we do see there's going to be defensive Celesteela with the leftovers. So Air Slash is just going to straight up bop this Lurantis. Not a lot of switching going on in this match, just straight up who's going to hit who the hardest. As we do see that, you know, Rome Empoleons is in the lead by a considerable amount. It's 6-5. Delphox is going to come out. He knows he can't really kill it in one shot. He wants to preserve his 6-0, so he's going to go into Seismitoad. Flamethrower comes off. Now, I'm pretty sure that Delphox is going to be able to have the grass coverage. We're going to see here if he does. Nope, he just decides to go for the Psychic instead, so Gribbet's going to go for the knockoff. Not going to be able to kill the Delphox. And we're going to see the leftovers get knocked off. As the Blast Burn is not going to be able to one-shot this Gribbet. Earth Power, is it going to be able to kill? And it does. So Seismitoad is going to pick up the final, you know, knockout of the match. And it's going to be a 6-0 win for the Roman Empoleons, who remain undefeated in the season at this point, 5-0 against the Bad Boys. You know, great match on both coaches' ends, of course. That Rock Polish Diancie, not really going to see that coming. Especially as it was a lead. I thought maybe it was going to be setting up Stealth Rocks and being defensive and doing what Diancie does best, but apparently he wanted to bring the offense with it. It really sort of took away the pressure, that offensive pressure role from Celesteela and Kieran Black. So with that said, that ends pretty much week 5 of the CPL. If you guys are enjoying these weekly recaps, please let me know. I tried to slow down the videos, at least on the showdowns end, as much as I could so I can explain my thought process. If you guys are liking it though, be sure to subscribe, as we do try to post as much content on the channel as we can. And, you know, until next time, I guess I'll see you in the next one.